Good evening. It's Monday, the 5th of July 2021. It's been a few weeks since I've recorded a video, or certainly there's been nothing on YouTube in a few weeks anyway. Couple issues. Number one, the weather has been fantastic. Number two, there's been football on basically every night, sometimes 2 or 3 games a night. And thirdly, I just got a new engine on the back of the boat, and basically I have not been near a brew day. I've not really done any reviews, and I've none of my own beers to drink in front of camera to spiel shite at you. So that's basically the three reasons why I haven't done anything. A few videos in, is it post-production you call it? They're being edited at the moment. They're nearly ready to go. I think this week's going to be a bumper week. You're going to get video tomorrow, which will be today or at some point. Put this video out first, and then I'll fire out, I think I have another 2, maybe 3 that are in position to be fired out. So yeah, what have I been up to? Well, as I say, I haven't been near a brew day. I do have the grains downstairs to do my Dream Lover, which is the Irish Red I did last year. Not on camera, I don't believe, but I realised I have no yeast, so I'm going to do a brew day on Saturday. I have nothing planned on Saturday. My diary is clear, so Saturday is going to be brew day. But I don't appear to have any yeast, which is bonkers really when you think about it. I found one packet of yeast which is clearly marked beer yeast, 11 grams, and that's it. Absolutely nothing else to tell me what it is or where it's come from. It's obviously come from those extract kits that you get from time to time, and I've just upgraded the yeast on it at some point and just left that lying there. So I wasn't going to put that into what was a really nice beer last year, so I wanted to be a really nice beer this year. So that inspired me. I'm going to do, or I have done already, a Getter Brewed order, which hopefully will come in the next day or two. But I'm not just going to order a packet of yeast. So I have ordered the grains and hops and everything that goes with it for three separate brew days, which I'm hoping to get done by the middle of August, all 3 of them done. We'll certainly into fermenters. One of them will be a lager, which will be lagered basically until the end of August. Well, depending on whenever I get it actually brewed. And then the other 2 are 2 that I've done before, an IPA and a double IPA. Well, just on the cusp of double IPA. So yeah, and then I've ordered a few wee bits and pieces for, just ordered one sort of bit of hardware, which it's not really that important. I'll not talk about it. Just sort of replacing broken stuff. And that's really it. That's really where we are. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to cut, and then I'll come back on the same video and I will review a beer. How about that? Sound good? I think we'll do that. Okay, so I'm back, and what I'm going to review tonight is the third and final beer from Dudes Brews, and it's the one that made me titter quite a lot. Dunkel Fester, which is 4.5%, and believe it or not, is a Dunkel. Didn't know a huge amount about Dunkel. I'm sure it's not pronounced that. I'm sure it's probably Dunkel or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's a Bavarian style, predominantly brewed in and around Munich. Whilst the northern parts of Germany were refining their Pilsners and their Kolsch and Cologne, the Bavarian water was still full of carbonates, so they couldn't really brew the lighter beers in the way that their northern cousins could. So basically they decided, not so much decided, but were forced down a darker route. And the predominant grain in this is Munich malt, which is obviously from Munich. And that's about as much as I know about a Dunkel. Is it going to be like a dark lager kind of style? I'm not really sure. I did do another little bit of research, and I'm reliably informed that this is a Dunkel glass. I have 2 of these downstairs. Anyway, let's go. Slight test, not a huge amount there. This has been sitting in my fridge for a couple of weeks now, so I hope I still do it justice. Okay, so I'm getting very little carbonation of that. Bottle didn't seem as tight as some of the other ones there that you sent me. It's also, as I say, been sat in my fridge for quite some time. So, appearance wise, we will do so you can see it's like a coppery. It's very, very dark, first of all. It's not as dark like a black IPA or anything like that. Turn the bloody flash off. It does have a ruby or copper sort of red colour that you're not really picking up on the camera. There's nowhere really I can hold this that will let you see it what I can see, but real sort of down toward the bottom there, we're getting, it's almost like a tea colour, like a dark tea. Full disclosure, first of all, I do have a bit of hay fever, so when I'm nosing this, you might hear me sort of snuffling a bit. I think I'll be all right. I'll certainly be able to taste it. So it's hard to describe a nose aroma. A sweet, but I'm almost getting like a dark toffee sweetness to it. Yeah. Dark sort of toffee, almost treacle, that's easy for me to say, treacle on the nose. Not really much else I can say about that at the moment. I'm going to dive in. Here goes nothing. Doesn't taste like it looks like it should taste. What have we got there? We've got a nice sweetness to it. There is, I've just actually been taught, well, I just commented on one of the bananas videos there that I can carbonate my beers so that when you put them in the mouth it tastes like it's fizzy, but when you look at it in the glass it doesn't, bubbles coming up. Sometimes I'll get ahead, sometimes I'll not. and that's what I've got here. It tastes fizzy. There's very few bubbles actually going up. It's probably too cold, to be honest with you. So you get like a malty sweetness to this. Quite, I'm going to say quite bitter, but not to my standard of my standard. It's my standard. Not to my levels of bitterness. Like a good bitter beer. It's quite a dry finish. But I'm trying to... I know it's there. I know that there's like, well, I know there's chocolate malt in it, so I know there's like a chocolatey flavour there, and I'm just getting a hint of it. It's nice and sweet. It's balanced out okay. Sort of the bitterness comes through in a dry finish. What else am I getting? I'm not getting the same levels of dark toffee or dark treacle from the taste on the palate. Excuse me. It's a nice beer. I mean, I've nothing to judge it against. This could be a terrible example of a Dunkel, but I quite like it. 4.5%, 17 IBU, wheat malt, Munich malt, dark Munich malt, Car 60, Car Rye, chocolate malt, green bullet hops, and Michael Jackson 20 yeast. All in all, it's a good beer. Now, would I sit and drink half a dozen of these on a night? Probably not over the summer, but I can imagine this being a little bit warmer. And maybe a November night, sitting in front of the TV, a fire going or something, one or two of these. 4.5%. You could smash a good few of these without doing yourself too much damage, but that just doesn't drag you back in for more. With a dry finish, it normally does. Normally makes you, more. I find that more. I'm finding more with like dry finishing lagers and the cold craze that's going around at the minute. I find them when you hit with a dry finish, it's like, oh, need more. Oh, and I'm doing the more thing again. Not really much more that I can say. I like it. Might have a stab at brewing one of these next year, or maybe later this year. But more importantly, I spend a bit of time in Germany, and I've never had a Dunkel. I'm aware of it. Like, I know it exists. I've been to Munich quite a few times. I've been to other parts of Bavaria. I spend a lot of my time in the north of the country, but I'll definitely keep an eye out for traditional German Bavarian Dunkels when I'm in Bavaria in the beer halls, because normally just drink their wheat beer or whatever pale lager they have on. But this is, yeah, it's an eye opener for a style, if nothing else. And that's what this game's all about. I'll just go on a quick tangent here. That's what this is all about. I got a beer mail there April, May time from Yorkshire Homebrew, Tony anyway. And in that was a Ruby Mild and a, God, I can't remember now. I don't know, can't remember. It'll come to me as soon as I hit stop. But there were two beers that I've never had before, and then he sent me another one, an IPA, which was lovely. So I don't mean to dismiss that, it was absolutely gorgeous. And drinking new styles to me is part of the journey, part of the fun of being a home brewer. Brewing my own beer and getting them to a standard where I love them, my mates love them, sending a few of them out from time to time, and people tend to like them. Is great. But when you get beers back in, I always I don't want to come across like I'm being ungrateful. That's the word I was looking for. Because I'm not. Like, send me anything. Send me your Budweiser clone. Send me your Guinness clone. Send me, anything that you think that I've already drank. Send me a version of it, and I'll tell you what I think of it. If it's good, if it's bad. Well, I've not had a bad beer sent to me yet, but I probably would tell you if it was bad. Like, one of the beer meals, one of the early beer meals I got was a clone of a beer that I drink quite regularly. And this person had been, trying to refine their version of it for ages and ages and ages. And they refined it so much that they actually got further away from the original beer that they were trying to clone. But they made a really good beer. So they were quite proud of it and they sent it to me. There's a beer style and also a beer that I drink quite regularly, but I'm really, really happy about that as well, because this will all probably be cut out because it's absolute rambling shite. Right, try that again. Yeah, so dude, this is a good beer. I've nothing to judge it against, so I don't know whether it's a good example or not. Not sure where the carbonation sits, whether it's meant to be more carb than that or not. I will look out for it when I'm back in Germany. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're allowed to travel soon. Get back over to Bavaria, get into the beer halls, order me some Dunkel. Because I would be in Munich and Bavaria a few times, but I'd be more in the northern parts, Berlin, Cologne, places like that. But it's something different to order and something different to try. Maybe an authentic, not saying this isn't authentic, it might be, I don't know. But one made, you know what I'm saying. One of the parts of the journey of being a home brewer that I really get a lot of satisfaction out of is trying new beers and new styles of beers. If you remember back a couple of months, the Yorkshire home brewer, Tony sent me a couple of beers. One, not discounting, not thrown away, but one that I had, it was an IPA, I believe, and then two, a Ruby Mild, and one that's just sort of dropped out of my head at the moment. And they're beers that I've never drunk or styles that I've never had before. This is another one, Dunkel. I've never had this before tonight. And it's part of it. Yes, I love making a beer, watching it ferment, getting it into a keg or a bottle, fast forwarding a load of weeks and drinking it and going, yes, nailed it. Or, oh, not quite. I love sending beers out. I love giving them to my mates. I just love giving them away, and getting opinion and getting feedback. But if I was reading through a recipe book and it said Dunkel, I would have just flicked through Ruby Mild, flicked through until I got these beers in from you guys. So I'm really, really grateful to everybody that sent me a beer mail so far this year. And if you want to get involved in that, drop me a line. I'm easy to find on the Facebook forum on BrewTube Official. Jacko Jackson is me. Or drop me a line down below, and we can arrange contact. We can swap emails or I don't know, whatever, and we'll get addresses sorted out. I don't have anything ready to be sent out at the moment. As I said at the start of the video there, I have nothing on. I haven't done a brew day in ages. I have I have a lot of bottles of triple left, but I'm not sure if I'm really willing to send them out for a few different reasons. But I'm going to be doing Irish Red this weekend, and then I have two IPAs, two different IPAs, two very different in the style. So if anybody's looking a beer, I might send those two out as a compare and contrast, because they're grain bills are quite similar, but they're very, very different beers. And then I'm going to do my first attempt at a proper lager this summer as well. So we have a busy couple of weeks up ahead of us here for brew days and what have you. But I think I'll leave it at that. Dude, thanks for the beers. I've sank all three of them now. Really, really appreciate it, man. Let's keep this going. As I say, anybody else, get involved. If you're watching this and you're not on the Facebook forum, you don't even have to be. Like, I would say, of everybody on that forum, maybe 10-15% make videos. Maybe of that 10 or 15%, maybe 5% make regular videos. So get involved in the forum. It is by far the friendliest and most. The guys on are so approachable. Like, there are no stupid questions, and if you've asked a question someone else has already asked, you're not going to get just search, just do the search function in the forum. That's an impression of people being Karens, I guess. You're not going to get that. You're going to get people that are going to say, look, this has been asked before. This is what was discussed before. Or you'll get sent a link to the some of the other, like, I don't want to get in a rant. I'm going to stop. Get involved. Go on the Brew Tube Official on Facebook. In the meantime, hit the subscribe button below me. Hit the like button. People say that at the end of the videos. I don't really know why. If you hit the subscribe button, I guess you'll know when I do the next video, and the next video, etc. Yeah, I like that. All right, I'll leave it at that.